idea was supported by the Deputy Chief of Staff Administration. And we had one session, and getting closer, the bonding and being open to each other, I know some of these occurrences will be minimized. If not totally eliminated, it will be minimized. Previously, we didn't have that opportunity. It was like whether they were even in Tamale or Accra, we didn't know. And they were drawing their strength from Ministry of Finance. I've mentioned this. This time around, once we are, the idea is that every quarter we'll be meeting. We'll get to know some of these issues. And we also want to bring on board, fortunately, this time around, some of the agencies have left OGM. So we have a very sizable destiny. And we want to bring all of them under the Office of the President Audit Committee so that these occurrences will not take place again.
Chairman, let me also admonish that politicians or political appointees should also allow the public and civil servants to work. Let's don't use our powers to do unstructured things and later turn out to blame the civil servants. From the chief director's narrative, it was just somebody who used his influence to say that, do it this way. From, if I listen to him very well, even though they wanted them to be reporting adequately to them, today they are here. We are taking him on when the people who took the decisions, those political exposed persons are probably sitting somewhere. So let's allow them to work. Basically, we tie them too much, and we sort of put some fear in civil servants. When they see the right thing, they are even afraid to talk. You understand? So let's admonish them too. If you are a political, otherwise we'll start bringing them here. Even if you leave office, but we'll call you to come and answer, instead of calling the civil servants to come and be facing this thing. Thank you.
That is why we have our laws governing us. So whether you're a civil servant or a political appointee, the law is the law. And the acting chief director knows the law. So that if you sit and close your eyes or turn your back in the name of, you claim is a political appointee, and you know that what the person is doing is not right and is against the law, and then later you come here to come and announce and say that. Meanwhile, the auditors use the law to come out with their reports. That is not an excuse. When it's wrong, it is wrong, irrespective of who does it. And that is why this committee is here, to examine these reports and find out how best we can bring everybody to book. And so if it means prevent that, irrespective of who you are. But the law is the law, and let's work with the law. The auditors worked with the law, and based on that, they provided us with this report. And so must everybody, whether you're a civil servant or a political appointee, let the law be your guide. The PFM is very, very clear. And so that if you know that the PFM is being flouted, and you turn a blind eye on it, and later come back to say, yes, I saw it, I knew it, they did it. I don't think that is how we should go. Thank you.
Chief Director, if Council of State is not here, we will suspend sitting for 1 hour until they come. So we'll be back. We'll be back at 2. And colleagues, 2 o'clock means we start working at 2. So is he here now?
Yeah, they are here.
Wow. Can they be sworn in then? Are we still live?
They are talking to you.
Pardon? Bible, please.
Where's the other one? Oh, okay.
He's here.
Please, you have to. You have to stand on the back. And then please you look on this and then you repeat after me. So,
I, Abdullahi Kukatahiru,
Valentine Mayu,
swear by the Almighty God
swear by the Almighty God
that the evidence I shall give before this committee
that the evidence I shall give before this committee Yes, please.
So why are you late?
Please introduce yourself to the committee.
Thank you. My name is Valentine Mayu, Head of Administration and Human Resource at the Council of State, Secretariat.
My name is Abdullahi Kukatahiru, Principal Accountant, Council of State.
Gentlemen, are you aware of the time of reporting for this committee?
Yes, sir. 10 o'clock.
Why are you not here by 10?
Honorable Chairman, we...
Where you were supposed to be at 10 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
Why didn't you show up at 10 o'clock?
Sir, a new acting executive secretary has been appointed to the Council of State, and I needed to clear some issues with him
Okay.
before we
So
appear before
a
the
new
committee.
executive director for Council of State,
Yes, sir.
and then the Parliament of Ghana. Which one would you respond to?
Parliament, sir.
Then why didn't you respond?
We are deeply sorry.
No, deeply sorry is a different thing altogether. Why didn't you respond? Why did you think that the new executive secretary was more important than Parliament of Ghana?
Sir, we acknowledge that the Executive Secretary to the Council of State is not more important than members of this august committee.
So you have taken this committee for granted. Is that not so?
No, sir.
Now that you are here, let's ask you a few questions. Your infraction is on paragraph 2130 and on end salary, and that will be handled by Honorable Cletus Dipalo.
Thank you, Chairman. Council of State, do you have attendance register for your staff?
Yes, sir.
So, how come that you validated a staff that vacated posts to receive government money?
Sir, the rules are clear regarding the grant of leaves, annual leaves to staff at the Council of State. This particular matter was an exceptional case, a case of exercise of indiscretion on the part of the officers who were supposed to validate officers for the months that these issues occurred. Thank you, sir.
So, can you explain further what you mean by what you said?
Sir, the processes for the grant of leave, there are 3 key processes. First, an officer is required to complete a form, a leave application form. The second stage, the officer is required to submit the application form to his or her supervisor for a recommendation on whether he or she should be released. The third stage is the recommendation by the supervisor is taken to the executive secretary, who then considers for approval. In this particular instance, the first 2 were done, but the last stage, which is the approval by the executive secretary, was not done.
This infraction has to do with one Emile Akono, an assistant director 2B, staff number 747419, who vacated post on the 2nd of January 2024. Yet she was validated and she took government money. How do you?
Sir, as I said earlier, this was an exercise of indiscretion on our part. We failed the state in that regard.
Did you? Okay, you.
Sir, what I said is that this was completely unexpected in view of the fact that we had clear rules of procedure for the grant of leave. And it was an exercise of indiscretion. We didn't act right.
Honorable member, please, if I could take over here. Has the money been retrieved?
Yes, sir.
You've retrieved all the amount?
Yes, sir.
Okay, auditors, could you confirm if the money has been retrieved, please?
Honorable Chair, we can confirm that the amount has been recovered.
All right, thank you very much. The next infraction is on paragraph 2133. And
I just want to find out if you have acquitted the 40,000 as stated in the Auditor General's report.
Yes, please.
Auditors, can you confirm?
Honorable Chair, we can confirm that.
Thank you very much.
And Council of State, next time when you are aware that you have to come and meet Parliament, that should be your number 1 thing. You don't want to mess with Parliament. With
Thank you very
contempt of
much, sir.
Parliament. Yes, sir.
Mr. Chair, I just wanted to find out if, based on this experience, he and the establishment has any measures in place to ensure that there's no recurrence of this kind of situation.
Sir, have you put any systems in place to make sure this doesn't reoccur? Sir,
Yes, sir.
like what?
Right now, as soon as you apply for leave, we ensure that you are at post until you are handed a letter granting you leave. Previously, officers would apply, and on the assumption they will be granted leave, they would leave. So this is the measure we have taken. Thank you, sir.
You see, this is a Public Financial Management Act 2016. And this infraction is on 98. And it's part of unearned salaries and the unacquitted payments. If you read it, it will tell you that any person who contravenes Section 1, which I'm not going to take all the time to read, in addition to the penalties specified in the subsection A, liable for any liability contracted on behalf of the government as a result of the contravention and subject to disciplinary action by government, including dismissal, demotion, or suspension. That is when you contravene these. It includes dismissal, demotion, or suspension. So if you are in charge of accounts, make sure you get a copy of the Public Financial Management Act 2016. Anytime there's an amendment, you get that one. Because next time it's going to be either dismissal, demotion, or suspension. Go and sin no more. You are discharged.
Thank you, sir.
Chief Director, you are also discharged. Thank you. Now, colleagues, we are on suspension till 2 o'clock. Thank you very much.